Sai Ram. I am an avid collector of the Sai Bhagavatam, the stories and glories of the Leelas and Mahimas of our beloved Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, our dear Swami. The most enjoyable and uplifting conversations for me are those where either I am sharing the stories of Swami or I am listening to the stories of Swami, and I do both of them. Recently, I was speaking with Sister Kasia from Poland, and her experiences with Swami were quite unique and interesting and very uplifting. In fact, those of you who are interested can have a look at the entire interview at this link above. She narrated how she had travelled all the way from Poland and come to Prashantinilayam Puttaparthi because somebody said, and she felt strongly that this might be the person she is seeking, a God in human form. As she was in her infancy of her relationship with Swami, one day she happened to enter the bhajan hall, and there she saw something that repulsed her. She immediately felt that no, Sathya Sai Baba cannot be God, he cannot even be a spiritual being. How can he be a spiritual being if he appreciates and does this? What was the sight that repulsed her so much? This, the tiger head and the tiger skin below Bhagwan's chair. She could not imagine that a spiritual being or a guru or God would sit during bhajans placing his foot on the head of a tiger that has been killed, that has been taxidermied. What sort of spiritual being allows such cruelty to animals? She was so shocked and she decided that no, I don't think that I am in the right place. Within a few hours, she was seated in the hall. And these thoughts were bothering her so much, she wanted her answer from Swami. Not knowing what to do, not knowing how to calm her thoughts, she just looked around. She saw one of her neighbors having a book about Swami. She just borrowed to read the book. And as she opened the book to a random page, she says, I was convinced that very moment that this Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is God, is God ultimate. This is supreme. He is personally answering me. What happened that changed her 180 degree around? It was the fourth part of the Satyam Shivam Sundaram, and in that, Professor Narayan Kasturi, Swami's biographer, has recorded the story of how this tiger head and tiger skin came to be where it is. I am sure this story will touch all our hearts and cause a thrill in us, the same way that it did to Sister Kasia. When the hostel for the students was under construction in Brindavan Whitefield at Bangalore, Swami that year in 1976 could not conduct the summer course in Indian culture and spirituality there. That year it was held in Ooty. And there it turned out to be a memorable summer course because Swami materialized a medallion and made some amazing revelations. I will not go into those now because those are already present at this link above. The link will also be in the description section of this video. At the end of the summer course, again for reasons that are mentioned in that linked video, Swami was very happy with the students. And in that joy, he decided to reveal even more. He revealed many stories from his childhood that had hitherto been unknown. And that is when Swami himself narrated the story of how this tiger skin came to him. Once again, in 1978, 2 years after this Ooty summer course, when the students who were sitting around Swami saw that Swami was in a very good mood, they again said, Swami, please share with us also the stories of your childhood just as you had done 2 years ago. And once again, Swami shared those stories, and again, this story of the tiger skin unfolded. This story dates back to mostly 1945 or 1946, when Swami was staying in what we call today as the Pata Mandiram or the old Mandiram. That was the Kotta Mandiram or the new Mandiram back then. And one day at that time, a person came searching for Swami crossing the dry river Chitravati bed. This person was a driver and he was in a sort of a problem. He was driving a jeep in which there was a subdivisional British officer. We must remember that This is the pre-independence days, and these are the days when the British ruled over India as a colony, and the subdivisional officer for the region Uravakonda, Anantapur and all those places was a British person, and his jeep had stopped. It had got stuck. It was not starting on the other side of the river Chitravati, the dry river Chitravati. And the driver had tried everything possible to get the jeep started. It had not started. Even the officer himself tried to get it started, and he had not succeeded. At that time, this driver said, "Sir, there is a boy here in this nearby village of Puttaparthi, just across the river. He creates vibhuti and cures many diseases. I'm sure that he will give us some vibhuti which will cure our jeep as well." Now the officer did not want to believe this person, but then he was desperate. Nothing had worked, and sure, you try anything that can help us get this jeep started. And that is how the driver had landed here. But even before he could find Swami, Swami found him, because Swami came walking towards him. And Swami said, "I will come to the jeep. Come, let us proceed." Oh, how did he know? How does Swami know anything? He is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. And they walked. They walked across the dry river Chitravati, across the sandy bed, and they reached the jeep. Swami got into the jeep and immediately pointed out the problem. Swami told the British officer, "Look there." There was a carcass of a tiger, a dead tiger. In fact, it was not a tiger but a tigress. That's what Swami told the British officer. Swami said, "It was I who stopped the jeep here because I wanted to reprimand you and correct you from this wrong thing that you are doing. Do you know," Swami told him, "that this tigress that you have shot dead a few hours back is the mother of 3 cubs. Now those 3 tiger cubs are orphaned, and they will die a sad death without their mother. Right now, you have to go back. Same place where you shot this tigress, there will be the 3 tiger cubs. Pick them up and deposit them in a zoo where they will be safe and they will be cared for." And Swami then said, "In the future, do not shoot animals like this. Why do you attack, harm, maim or even trap animals that are not troubling you in any way? This is very wrong." The question might arise, what about animals that trouble us? What about pests that come at home? What about mosquitoes? What about cockroaches? Well, Swami has spoken to another Western gentleman about the same, to Dr. Hislop, and there is a separate video on that along with a personal experience of mine that is there at this link above. But here Swami told the British officer, "Don't shoot animals." And then Swami added, "If at all you want to shoot them with better equipment. Shoot them with a camera." Wow, that is personally very thrilling for me as a photographer, because whether it's in Africa or India, I've had the opportunity to shoot many animals, shoot many birds. In fact, I remember one of my blogs on the birds at Puttaparthi won an award as well. So many pictures over there. So personally, that's a very beautiful message for me. But this is the message that Swami gave to that British officer. And that officer was just bowled over at Swami's omnipresence, at Swami's omniscience. Of course, needless to say, when Swami got off the jeep and told them to proceed, the jeep started without any issue. And the driver took the jeep back to the hunting spot where they found the cubs as Swami had said. The cubs were given to a zoo where they were cared for. Later on, as his repentance and as his promise to Swami that he would never again hunt any living creature, this British officer got the tiger skin along with the head after it had gone through the taxidermy process and humbly offered it to Swami. And that is how this tiger skin came under Swami's chair. From a spiritual perspective, if we look at all the yogis, if we look at Lord Shiva sits on the tiger skin. There is the tiger under him. Swami is Shiva, right? Sai Shiva. He is the Shiva Shakti Swarupa. And this is symbolic of the yogi who has mastered all the animal tendencies. And yes, Swami is not just the yogi who has mastered animal tendencies. He is the Paramatma whose touch will help all of us overcome the animal tendencies. So that is how the tiger skin came. Later on, Coffee Pudi Sakamma, as she is called, she's another wonderful devotee whose story is glorious, and possibly I will make a video on that some other day. But she requested Swami that he should sit in a meditation posture holding a Rudraksha bead on this tiger skin for a photograph. She requested because he is her Sai Shiva, and Swami lovingly obliged, and in a Bangalore studio a picture was also taken. In fact, 2 pictures were taken of Swami on this tiger skin, and that is the story of the tiger skin. Dear brothers and sisters, as we enjoy these stories and glories of Swami, let us also learn and imbibe the lessons they embody. May we always ensure that we don't harm any other living being. And as Swami said, rather than shoot animals with a gun, let us shoot them with the camera, so that their beauty, the divinity within them can get expressed to everyone else as well, and everybody else also can appreciate the beauty. Dear Swami, thank you so much for being an integral part of our lives. May the love that we have for you in our hearts keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.